Today we have Anthony Lolli and TereZa Lolli. They turned the impossible into reality. Anthony lost over 125 pounds after 9 failed attempts, then went on to become a top-level bodybuilder, documentary producer, and author.
Or whether it's writing a book and it becoming a real bestseller. We sold 550,000 copies in 6 months of The Heart of the Deal, the book.
Wow. Together with TereZa, a filmmaker and fitness competitor, they build Biohack Yourself Media, helping millions unlock peak performance through science, mindset, and daily discipline. In this episode, they're gonna break down exactly how they rewire their bodies, their minds, and their lives, so you can do it too. Let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to another Value Talks podcast episode where we have valuable conversations with business owners and entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Anthony, and thank you so much, TereZa, for being here. I want to start this podcast with your story. Please tell me, how do you guys got to the point that you are right now? I see you guys, this media company, it's crazy. It's growing very fast. We know that biohacking, it's in everybody's mouth. And I see you guys everywhere. So I just want to know where you guys come from, like where this idea was born.
Well, I'm half Ecuadorian and half Italian. My mother is an immigrant from Ecuador, came to this country with nothing. She lived in an abandoned building and worked in sweatshops. Eventually, she became a home attendant, a beautician, and then she met my father. My father was a World War II veteran, Navy veteran of Italian descent. He's Italian. Okay. Became a public school teacher. They met each other and then had me. And so I grew up very humble. None of them had money, but a lot of love. But my mother had an immigrant ambition. She wanted the American dream. She wanted to have home ownership. She watched the Oscars all the way from Ecuador. She saw Hollywood. She saw celebrities. So she liked all of those things. My father, because he was a school teacher, he wasn't really into that kind of stuff. My dad was more of a naturopath, homeopath. He liked, traveling. He lived in Puerto Rico. He lived in Dominican Republic. He, had a very free lifestyle. Okay. And so I had both worlds, very, very strong moral compass. But I grew up obese. I grew up out of shape. I was a chubby kid. I went from being a chubby kid to a very fat man. Wow. But throughout the years, I managed to achieve a lot of level of success in business. Many different businesses, from real estate to real estate schools, to owning real estate, to owning a billboard, and then now a media company, and we do documentary films. That's the short version of how I got here.
So since you were obese and you were also successful, would you say that you don't need to be healthy to be successful? Or you would say that now that you are in shape and now that you understand biohacking your body, you can be more productive and think clear? And what would you say that?
Well, listen, back then, there was nothing you could tell me to get me to lose weight. It was because I had a wife and now I had children that made me want to get in shape. My wife was on my back about it. We have 2 beautiful children, and I was really putting myself in a bad situation where I was getting fatter and then having sleep apnea and really just causing an issue within the family. So it was the love of my family that made me want to actually get in shape. And then, of course, my wife being from the opposite side, where she likes healthy food, she likes healthy living, and she's a great mother, and she didn't want me to be a bad influence on the children. So she was really on my back. So the answer is, I probably would be dead right now for many reasons, because the obesity, because of all the different things that happened during the pandemic, that most people that didn't have good health didn't survive, environmental stressors, many things could have factored. In fact, a lot of my friends, even in my documentaries, who were nearly not as fat as me, are dead. And wow. So, it's very easy to quantify and say that probably would have been me. But, again, thanks to my wife and the kids and the support system, But the beautiful thing is I've been able to make documentaries, that show the world how we've done it.
So you were able to record how you went from being fat and probably, you had issues more than just being fat and looking bad. And so, okay, there is one take there that I tell my audience, and that is about surrounding yourself with the right people. But not only that, is who's your partner. It's very important. People don't take the appreciation of that person who is going to be living next to you. It's going to be influencing your thoughts, your habits, and all of that. So, I mean, thanks to you, right? And so when this idea of the Biohack Yourself was born, was it because of you?
So we've had a long journey, right? It was never just born like that. We've gone through crazy journeys of health optimization, betterment, and improvement, starting from his journey, of course. And, you know, watching him take it seriously and really insulating himself with a team that we put together. It was myself, my mother-in-law, my mother, and we had 2 very young children, so it was the wrong time to start. But we said, no, this is going to be the time, because if you wait for the right time, there will never be the right time.
Exactly.
So we started, and we actually also brought a coach to live with us, which was also another instrumental thing, because he was, you know, weighing his meals and giving him the meal prepping, and we were cooking it, and he had trainers. So all of that was happening. We were filming everything, and we, you know, never anticipated it for the documentary From Fat Lolli to Six Pack Lolli to become a global hit with millions of views. And so when that happened, we really recognized there is an impact that we're making. And we're going to go through these journeys anyway. So let's bring the audience with us. So what happened was with the success of his documentary, he said, it's your turn, babe, because now we're the Beauty and the Beast, except I'm the beauty. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Because after 2 kids, I had a mom bod and I had a diastasis recti. It's a condition that really nobody talks about. And I'd love to, like, every audience to understand that when you are pregnant and you have a child that's larger than maybe 8 pounds, I can't scientifically tell you, but just go get checked for diastasis recti, because I had an 8-finger separation in between my abs. So the tissue that connects your ab walls, they become loose, and so your ab walls become like flopping gates. And that puts immense amount of pressure on your back. So it's no longer for vanity purposes, like when you just have a belly all the time, but it also impacts your health. So with that documentary, I wanted to shine a light on that condition and how you can improve it and actually fix it through exercise. And I also we wanted to actually prove that as a couple, as parents of 2 young kids, you can train together and stay together. There's a hashtag, right? Train together, stay together. And you can actually do this as a family project. In fact, engaging your children and really making these family habits goes deep into the roots of even your parents now getting into fitness, your sisters, your cousins. So now our entire family and extended family takes pride in their fitness, in their body composition. So we did a transformation journey on my story where I actually gained 12 pounds of muscle, which was unbelievable because I was very frail and I was a mother of 2. I was weak. I had back pain. I had a mom bod, changed my wardrobe. I was going down that path. And I know many of my friends have gone down that path. So I wanted to say there is a way out. And that was called bodybuilding, which initially I was like, I don't want to be muscly and I don't want to take steroids. That's not happening. He's like, no, babe, it's different. Like if you just do meal prepping and you eat your protein, you eat your carbs, and you measure everything and you do just hardcore resistance training and weightlifting the right way. He actually trained me. And I was the former athlete. I always was in athletics, in sports, but I never had the body that I was able to gain after weightlifting.
Maybe because you were in sports and no weights. That happens to me.
No weights. Yeah, we never did weights.
Yeah.
I had my cardio and I had my stamina in check, but I never had the strength and the way. When I was done with my transformation, walking felt pleasant. I mean, I was up in the morning. When I was up, I felt like I'm making a footprint in this world. Like you are heavy walking in the world, right? It's just like all muscle. It felt amazing. And we competed in 6 different federations in bodybuilding within 6 months. And I became a 2-time bikini pro, which I never anticipated. It was incredible. He became a muscle model pro. Mr. Transformation icon here, now transitioned to become a muscle model pro. which was huge for us because you're in that world and everybody's competitive. People have been training for 4 or 5 years. And then we come in out of nowhere, you know, the former 315 pounds in the mom bod. And we're like, yay, getting trophies. It was amazing.
What would you say that gave you that advantage of, you know, all these people that are competing for this is their whole life for them?
Yes.
You know, and you just came in and you basically, I don't know if you biohacked your body or what did you do to like, you know, enter the same competition that these people have been preparing for?
We weren't biohacking at the time. In fact, we knew nothing about biohacking. I knew about functional medicine practices loosely. I knew Dr. Steve Gundry, Dr. Tom O'Brien, very kind of, you know, pre-K level.
Okay.
But I think what really stood out for me, at least, it was my artistic performance. Like I was a dancer and I was a, you know, an actor. I was a recording singer. Like I've done all of this performing arts. So when I stepped on stage, I was able to captivate the judges. Of course, I also gained 12 pounds of muscle. That's not nothing, but you know, obviously there were girls who had way better muscles and way better posture and everything. But it was my presentation, I think, that got me my 2 pro cards. Yeah.
I think from my perspective is how you do one thing is how you do everything.
100%.
So the fact of the matter is we have a long history of really succeeding at many different verticals, whether it be opening up a real estate school and it becoming the 2nd largest real estate school in New York, or launching a billboard company, having 72 billboards in New York, or growing a real estate brokerage from 1 location to 100 locations where I had 100 of my employees tattoo the company logo on their body.
Damn.
Made them 100,000aires and millionaires. Or whether it's writing a book and it becoming a real bestseller. We sold 550,000 copies in 6 months of The Heart of the Deal, the book.
Wow.
It was through a real publisher. It was with Barnes & Noble. It was in the airport stores. It was in Indigo. Or is it buying real estate? And now we own quite a bit of real estate. But I started in my early 20s and she also started very young. So it's that standard of excellence. It's that agency. You have to have agency. The reason why I was failing with my weight loss is that I didn't treat it like I would treating a business. I didn't treat it the same way. And I was coaching myself. I was the worst person. Why should I be coaching? And I think, you know, it lends to what you do with your company. You consult, you help people, right? I sought help. You know, I hired a coach and we got mentorship. And you have to put your ego at the door. You can't know all things.
I agree.
And so the reality is that we became students. We studied everything from lifting weights to nutrition to all the different posing. We had multiple posing coaches.
Yeah.
Wow.
We follow what he said, you know, follow directions precisely. I mean, even cheat dates were prescribed. Like we would not cheat. And what you said, you know, having each other was so important because we held each other accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wanted to impress me and I wanted to impress him. And, you know, we were in this together. It was just a beautiful journey, bringing us closer as a family, as a couple together to really see each other at max capacity. That there was actually no max. We recognized that. It was just like we could
You
go
were going all in.
We can go all in
Wow.
and then more and prove ourselves every time.
People that keep their word succeed, right? There's 2 types of words to keep. Words to others, yes, you can succeed when you keep your word to other people. But words to yourself, keep your word to yourself, you're unstoppable. That's why we're very careful because whenever we go into a transaction or deal or whatever, it's not just them. We don't want to break our word to ourselves. So,
and that's the power of the mind, 100%. And you know that this is why I look up to you guys because you guys are talking about real estate and your kids already have real estate. And you know, you're pouring this foundation for them where it's a solid foundation where they know how to invest, they know about their body, they're biohacking, they're
Working out.
Yes, they're doing amazing things. So imagine at this age, what are they going to be doing at my age?
well, listen,
So
you know,
important.
people have children for a selfish reason, right? That's no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I don't want to surround myself around losers. Those are my kids included. That's a fact. And so, like, you know, that says a lot about who we are. That's, again, a word to ourselves. We promised that we were going to have healthy, smart, intelligent, best friends. We were raising our own tribe. And so we have to put that kind of effort like we do into a business. Like, imagine you started a company and you hired bad employees and you got an extreme rent and now it's a headache.
Yep.
That's a child. If you gave it
100%.
bad food, you gave it no attention, this and that, and now it's like a burden on you.
Well, there's also studies that the first 8 years really builds who you're going to be forever. So we were very, very calculated with what we impact them with in the first 8 years, how we're going to develop and shape them.
Did you send them to school?
So yeah, actually we tried out 5 different schools. We went to Montessori, we went to Waldorf, we went to public, we went to private, and we went to an Orthodox school. So we've tried all these different schools of thought. To me, it was very interesting because as an immigrant, his mom was the immigrant, but in our relationship, I'm the immigrant. I actually came here only 18 years ago.
Okay.
And for me, the American school system was extremely overwhelming. I didn't understand it. I couldn't vet it. If I was in my country, the name of the best school, that's where you go, or you just go to your local and that's it. Questions closed. Now here, the choices were abundant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to know everything. So as our daughter was 11 months old, I started touring. But touring, even though we toured about 40 different schools within 2 years, literally was like a part-time job for me. I was on a tour almost every week. And I realized that tours are just not going to give me the insight, because with every tour, I want to go to that school. You're selling me. So I said, you know what, let's become students in each of these schools. Like, I like this one, I like this one, I like this. So almost every 6 months, we changed school. Now, people thought we were crazy, and, people thought that our kids will start getting problems because they're going to be the new kid and they're building their friendships. And it was the complete opposite. In fact, with every new school they walked into, they were the better and more confident versions of themselves.
Wow.
And that carries on to today. They're homeschooling now because we opted out for homeschooling. Our schedule will not allow us to actually go to a traditional school. But basically, in every environment they walk in right now, they can present themselves. They can make acquaintances, friendships. They can read the room. They can understand who is iffy. What does Legend say? Legend has this words like, that guy's a little weird. I'm not, like they
have
sense,
energy.
they have energy sensors.
Wow.
And they've been
They're
around
wide
amazing
open.
celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, we produced the ball in Washington,
The
D.C.
Maha Bowl,
and on
yeah.
Inauguration Day, the Maha Ball. They spoke on stage.
They were on stage in front of 1,000 people.
high profile, a lot of billionaires,
They
a lot of
met
family
They
office.
celebrities.
They probably performed.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson was there. I mean, so many celebrities.
Wow.
Yeah, Zachary
problem.
Levi, Russell Brand.
Yeah.
So what happened with them is, since the day they were born, they've been into acting and modeling. Because that's my background. I was an actor. I actually was in a lot of films, including 6 Degrees of Hell on Netflix with Corey Feldman. And then I was also a recording artist. I was working with Warner Brothers, and I had a whole album ready. Yeah. And then when we decided to get married, for me, most priority was my children. So I said, this can wait for now. I'm going to dedicate myself. So when I was pregnant, my agent called me back for a pregnancy job, like a print job. And I did that. It was Babies R Us, the cover of the Babies R Us catalog. That was fun. And then 3 months later, he contacted me again and he said, hey, I have a job for a newborn baby. Is your baby born? I was like, oh yeah, she's actually 14 days old. And that's how it was like the focus went to her and I got to do what I love. So I started managing their careers in the entertainment industry. So they started booking a lot of work, like including national commercials and
So they have their own
Off-Broadway.
documentaries as well, right?
They're in our documentaries.
They're in our documentaries,
Okay.
but they've done a lot of national commercials, off-Broadway plays,
They did
print,
Amazon
movies.
Glow.
Yes,
Yeah. Our son was
1-800
in,
Flowers,
our
Care.com. They were in Marriott for like 2 years in all the Marriott TVs when they were showing Care.com. That was our kids. They were on the plane. Some of my friends would be traveling. They would just take a picture of the commercial. They were like, hey, Love and Legend.
Wow.
So that's how they made their money. That's how they were able to invest into their real estate. In fact, lately, 2 weeks ago, they got recognized as the youngest real estate investors. They got an award for that. So that was really good, because they understand hard work amounted to money.
Yes.
Money amounted to investment, long-term cash flow.
Correct.
And that amounted to recognition. So you have to earn your recognition.
I'm so amazed because for me, okay, I wasn't raised right. And I guess you guys either. You guys are immigrants. And we don't have this education in here. I mean,
Yeah.
you tour all these schools, and I'm not a big fan of schools, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's why I ask, because the problems start from there, from the education. In how I call it, and everybody in my audience call it, is brainwashing. They're brainwashing us, and it's with information there is no serving us. And so we need to eliminate all that information and bring all this new information that is actually going to serve us. And so, are they involved with Biohack Yourself?
Yeah.
The kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So not only were they in the Biohack Yourself documentary interviewing some of the leading experts, including Dr. Daniel Amen, Dr. Steve Gundry, Dr. Zach Bush. So they have conducted close to 50 interviews between Biohack Yourself and SHIELD, which is our female health documentary premiering at the Cannes Film Festival in May. But they've learned so much firsthand from people like Gary Brecka and JJ Virgin. And so now they walk around, they're like, no, that's not good for my mitochondria. Or, I have to get my ATP up. And I was like, who did you guys turn into? Yeah. And our son Legend wakes up and brushes the teeth with the correct toothbrush, with the correct toothpaste, does his gargling, puts his bed up, and he goes first thing to work out. Because he's like, because I need my muscles. And he's like up and ready. You understand the energy that these kids get from biohacking.
Well, now they're doing journalism. Our daughter is going around interviewing people because she speaks for her community, right? She speaks for the alpha.
She has her own community?
Well, the alpha generation. Think about it. She's
she
9
says,
years old.
my alpha generation should live till 150. You guys talk about it. You guys invented, but my generation is going to live it.
They're true legends, to be honest.
Well, our son's name is Legend. So,
his name is Legend.
And journalism for me changed my life. Putting your thoughts down and also like manifesting, just not just saying and thinking about it, but running it down. Putting a list of what you're gonna do through your day, just putting your thoughts out there.
Correct.
And so that's the true power of manifestation.
Yeah.
So tell me more about biohacking. For me, it's just like so interesting because you guys are doing magazines, documentaries. It's like all of it, and I don't know if people can really see the value, but I do see it, and it's like this is the education there is nowadays.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, biohacking, what it really means is you're unhacking your environment. So everybody's being hacked. Whether, as a baby, think about it, there's formula already we know that's not good for you if you're taking formula. Now you're heating up the plastic bottle, you're getting microplastics. Now you're in the brand new baby room and the baby room was just painted and it's new furniture that's off-gassing. Whether you're putting those plug-ins, those perfumes you plug in the wall, those are endocrine disrupting.
The cameras with Wi-Fi.
Everything.
There's so
the
much,
Wi-Fi,
right?
the EMF. You're already being hacked.
Well, let's even talk about being in the womb and in the delivery.
Yeah, just imagine someone's pregnant, they got the cell phone like this texting on the stomach or with the laptop.
And then so many women are right now so high on glyphosates and parasites and mold, and all of that goes straight into your baby.
Everybody's getting cancer. Everybody's getting dying. Hashimoto's, this, that.
But all of that is fixable through biohacking.
Yeah.
And the reason why we have to biohack, and people ask me all the time, you've done all these documentaries, do you think we should all biohack? And the answer is yes. Because what he said, the environment is constantly hacking us. Dirty water, dirty air, bad food, all of that. Oxidative stress, our stressful lives, the constant blue lights. It's a lot. But what are we going to do? Not going to be depressed and crawl under the rock and say, this life is toxic. And exactly, our documentaries are very solution-based because we are all solution-based.
Right.
We want to say, okay, it's bad. Great. Got it. Give us the tools because we can unhack all of that.
All we were watching.
Detoxing.
All we were watching is people complaining about the problem. This is the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, the government. Oh, this.
They're not doing anything
oh,
about
yeah.
it, right?
I'm like, okay, but who would I go to?
As a
You see what I'm
human
saying?
being watching this documentary, how can I take action? That was what the purpose of Biohack Yourself documentary
Because not even
was.
doctors, doctors prescribe drugs. Like
Yes.
These drugs, they are not even going to help you. They're going to keep you addicted to it. And so there is a lot of biohacking machines like red light therapy and all that. Would you say, is it necessary or can people use like the sunrise and natural stuff?
Yes, there's a lot of natural biohacking. Well, first of all, the word biohack yourself, let's change the word biohack to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself. And that's what this is. No one's going to do it for you. Fortunately, we built you a library of education that you can learn from the best people. But to answer your question, yes, you can get sun. Good luck if you work a 9-to-5 job. By the time you get home,
and good luck doing it at the right time to set your circadian rhythm if it's raining or snowing. Or
how much sun do you really get in the car? What, your left arm gets sun? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
You're not getting enough. So you have to supplement, right? With red light. And there's different ways you can apply it. Fast, a boom, like one of those big booths, or you could take it in doses, or you could take like a little portable thing and you just put it on your chest or your stomach.
Yeah, we featured many companies like Thrive is an amazing red light company.
Brain, the gut
it's
and
got
the brain.
the gut and brain connection. Right? Then there's LumaFlex, for example. That's more for athletes, and he loves that because it's portable, it's small. You could just put it on your arm if you're having soreness
The
and stuff like
energy lounger, you just like a little
That's
bit
the
of
bed
like a
energy
lounge,
lounger,
down,
and then I love my sauna space, which sits right next to my computer to mitigate the blue light that's coming to my eyes. It actually cancels it out, and it energizes my face, which is the biggest receptor for the energy. So, like you said, it's a lot about supplementation. For example, how many times are you going to be able to get out and ground yourself? We're understanding the benefits of grounding now, right? But you got to do grounding the right way. Is the grass sprayed with all kinds of toxins? Are you grounding on the concrete? It's not right. You got to find a tree and be at the base of the tree. Now, are there ants? Are there red ants? Are you getting bit? Is there like dog pee? So you got to understand, like, a lot of people are not going to do that. So what you do is PEMF mat. PEMF mat resembles the same energy of the earth. It's almost like earthing. So what it does is actually pulsates you, and it separates all of your clumped up cells. This is what grounding does. So again, that's just supplementing or exchanging for the natural thing for a technical thing.
Right.
Thank you so much for the value, because some people might not know that. Like I used to do that daily on the beach. And for me, it was amazing because also the ocean, for me, the sunrise in the ocean, like doing that, it was so powerful for my day. You start my day like that, I feel like power up.
Sure.
But how long were you able to do that, and are you doing it right now?
Not so often, because I used to live right next to the beach.
Exactly.
So that's where you would there's mats that you put in your chair. If you're going to be working at home, you just sit on the mat.
Like we have Centropics, is an incredible company. Centropics, very good PMF.
Yep.
We have Oral Wellness. So Oral Wellness is amazing. I mean, they use their machinery on Kentucky Derby competitive horses.
Wow.
If the horse is injured, they just go straight to Oral Wellness. The pulsation is legit, and we do it on ourselves. And he puts it high up to 10. I can only tolerate 8. It literally, you're laying there, it goes tuk, tuk, like it literally zhuzhes up your entire cellular system. And then we have Cellar 8. Cellar 8 is really great for younger girls if they have like cramping during their periods. They have an amazing PMF mat just for your belly.
It's very portable.
Very portable, very like.
And the thing about
you
these
can hide
companies,
it.
right? Like, we met the founders. We met the inventors. It's not like we saw it in the store. Like, we got a chance to understand the science, why they built it, why it's the best quality. And we work with these people even till this day. And so we got a real intimate view of the biohacking industry, not just from the thought leaders and the research scientists, but the people that came up with the inventions. Just imagine, we worked with Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, and now I'm telling you, hey, you should use this product. It's really great. That's exactly what our experience was.
I think you're bringing that proximity to people that maybe not everybody have access to, but you are giving that to them. You're that platform that can give them that access to. For example, for me, I'm giving access to people to this information that they don't know.
Correct.
And it's so important. It's so valuable, at least for me. And
what we also do is we vet, which is a very important portion. Because before I got into biohacking, I did know about red light. And when I would Google, I would be overwhelmed. Like, which one? which one is the good company.
I see.
But so we do that for our audience members. We do the vetting. We have a peer review faculty group that actually vets everybody that comes into our documentaries or is featured on our magazine or is featured on our media platform or on our Instagram, Biohack Yourself Media, where we get about 40 million quarterly views. So yeah, people are excited to come to a platform where it's not only one-stop shop, but it's vetted and verified one-stop shop.
People always ask, can you recommend me of this? Do you know a good this? Or it's on
Yeah.
Biohack Yourself.
It's like whoever approached us for questions, we took them down and we made documentaries out of this.
Yeah.
Because that really answers the questions of almost everyone.
And so you're not just another affiliate of a company, but you actually can bring the education of the product, the founder's vision to reality with your media.
Yeah.
So would you say the Biohack Yourself is to educate the new generation and everybody nowadays with their own bodies and how it works?
Biohack Yourself is basically the love language of the general public. Because what we recognized is we were trying to watch a podcast, right? But then you're listening to this expert talk to this expert, and they're saying mitochondria, they're saying telomeres, hyperbaric chamber, photobiomodulation. They're using all of these complex words. Meanwhile, I don't feel good. Like, what does that mean? And then they're over there impressing each other with who knows what. The latest study of this and the latest study of that. What does that mean? Like, we did something that was a husband, a wife, a father, a mother. I have a mother. She has a mother. My mother's 86. Her mother's in her 60s. We have children. Every single one of us had a health crisis. Remember, I was fat.
Yeah.
And then I thought I nipped it in the bud by losing weight and getting in shape. But a lot of damage, man. A lot of food, bad food, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. Even though I looked great on the outside, on the inside, I needed repair. Yeah. And that's not something a gym could do for you. And then my wife, she had all of
that's
her
the
issues.
thing. Like, we had his health issues, right? We tackled that. Then I went into early menopause for a minute there, and that's really bad for you as a young woman.
Oh, wow.
And the diastasis, of course. And then our son was misdiagnosed 7 times. When he was born, he was a little baby, 5 months old, and he was just not really sleeping well. He had dark blue circles under his eyes, and he was cranky all the time. And I was like, something's up. So started taking him to doctors, and the traditional medicine world misdiagnosed him 7 times. Why do I say misdiagnosed? Because later on, when we went to 20 functional medicine doctors, we were able to find out the real reason.
Wow.
He had a mold infection and he had a genetic mutation that wasn't able to detox him. But that's all. So once we found out how to supplement his DNA, how to supplement his genetic expressions and detox him from that mold that came from the HVAC system, which, by the way, almost all of us have some sort of mold in our homes, he was brilliant. And then our daughter had her own issue, which was a lymph node that just popped out. It was almost a golf ball size, and her lymphatic system was stagnant. So we were able to discover through hydrogen baths, we were able to completely drain her lymphatic system. Oh, wow. And then my mother at 62 is losing her memory. And now we discovered biological dentistry, because all the biohacking we did for her and her blood work and her stool and everything is coming out perfect, but she's losing her memory. Why? Because her mouth was covered in metal implants, mold, infections. So you can biohack yourself all you want. If your mouth, which is the tiniest portion of your body, is infected with root canals and cavitations, which is basically an infection where you take out the wisdom teeth, you can actually suffer greatly. So we're discovering all of these journeys that we go into from our experiences.
Because of our visibility and credibility, the access to the experts is now even higher, like on the next level. In this documentary with the dentistry, I mean,
It's
Dr.
called
Jigger,
Biodentistry.
it's called Biodentistry,
Yeah.
Dr. Jigger Gandhi. He's Gary Brecka's personal biological dentist.
And many other celebrities.
And
we
many
can't
other
really mention.
celebrities. And he is working on her mom.
Yeah.
So when we recommend somebody, it's people that we used.
Yeah.
I had a near-death experience.
His sinus infection
Yeah.
from a wrong bone grafting almost took his life.
Right.
Wow.
That's how crazy it could be. Like, you're just doing a sinus lift and a bone graft, You just go trust anyone. No,
And
you
I
gotta go
went to Costa
top.
Rica.
We went to a doctor.
Dr. Andres Fernandez. He saved my life. Like he literally saved my life. We had opened me up. I was under anesthesia. I had to fly down there in an emergency. But the level of care, like we did the red light, we did the ozone, like we literally, he pulled my sinus out. He's like, this sinus, he threw it out. He was like, this is
Infected.
gone. You don't have any more sinus. You gotta
But he
grow
put
new one.
PRP in there. He put correct bone grafting that actually speaks with your own bone. It becomes one. So there's all these details that matter when it comes to dentistry and how traditional dentistry has been conducted, all for good purpose. But now they're discovering all these new techniques and new tools like implants, right? Titanium implants are no longer working because everyone is discovering how much inflammation it causes in your body.
Wow.
Yeah, and so now they're using ceramic implants. Like we love
Yeah, I hear.
SDS. Is the leading company for ceramic implants. Bone grafting, for example, we found out Osteogene. Like it's an amazing company. The bone grafting material is so good.
That's another
compatible.
thing. You gotta know what's being put in your body.
Yeah, you gotta know
right?
the
'Cause
products.
You can go to a biological dentist, but then he's putting the bad implant.
Yeah.
And then that's poison. You gotta just know what's going on. It's not just whether you take this shot or that shot.
Yeah.
Because that shot, hopefully you can detox out of it with some sauna, right? But this implant is like there. It's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. Or, the way they approach a surgery and the way things drain out, it can mess you up for life.
And with biological dentists, first of all, before they even see you, they have a functional medicine doctor who does your blood work, who does a lot of panels on you to really understand where you are. Then they ship you an entire month-long protocol, bone healing protocol, before you even step in their office for the surgery.
Wow.
So my mother, when she had a near 4.5-hour surgery with Dr. Jay Gundy, she literally walked out of the office. The next day she was ready to go. Her under eye darkness completely almost disappeared. She almost looked like she had a facelift. Her entire energy, her eye movements became sharper. She was becoming very sluggish and tired in her life. So we noticed an immediate change. And so my father is actually meeting Dr. Dom in Germany, who's another leading expert in biological dentistry. He's got his certification program. He's really collected this wolf pack, as he calls it, of all these dentists that are leading the charge of biological dentistry. So he's going to conduct the most complicated surgery on my father, who has all kinds of cysts in his mouth and his gums. He was a smoker, so we're excited to see that.
Yeah.
Not excited, but excited for the aftermath.
course, yeah.
And then after the surgery, they put you on another 1 month full protocol. And there's a lot that goes into your overall body supporting the healing of your dental procedure. The mouth is not just the mouth, it's everything.
Yes. I mean, for me, the mouth is very powerful. You can speak death or you can speak life. And what you're putting inside your body is that's who you become.
Right.
Yeah.
And so on. Somebody in the audience, right, that they don't, and when the audience, I'm talking about online.
Got it.
In the audience that they don't know anything about biohacking, how can they start educating themselves with Biohack Yourself or, the basics?
Easy.
So we've made it where you cannot turn the corner without seeing Biohack Yourself. So it has a website, biohackyourself.com. It has an Instagram, Biohack Yourself Media. It's on every social platform under Biohack, the YouTube channel. It has a magazine. The magazine is digital. It's in the retail stores. It's in Publix, a health
Wow.
magazine.
Barnes
is
and
in the
Noble in
supermarket.
Canada and North America.
Indigo
everywhere.
stores. It's in functional medicine clinics.
But they can also buy it online on our website, biohackyourself.com. You click on print and you can get your copy. You can get the back copies because this is going to be collector's item. Like, we're not printing any more of issue number 1 and issue number 2 when it
Right.
goes off the shelves. And the information there, some of the scientists publish their work in our
Right.
magazine.
That's another thing, the contributors, right? When you're in the media business, you have journalists, you have contributors that write content, our contributors in the magazine, just to pretend like it was Forbes magazine.
Okay.
Our contributors are Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren
Yeah.
Buffett.
I understand.
Like the
High
people
level.
that write for the magazine, top. Like they're so famous,
Yeah, we
they
have,
should
like,
even be on the cover.
Yeah, we
You know
have
what I'm
Dr.
saying? Like-
Mark Gordon contributing. We have Dr. Anna Maria Temple, or we have so many incredible, like talking about women's health, talking about new biohacking techniques, talking about biohacking your pets, talking
Wow.
about biological dentistry, talking about children's health, talking about biohacking veterans, etc. Like, it's amazing content.
And we've been embraced by the industry because we literally became the voice for longevity. Nobody really paid attention to this industry. And Dr. Mark Gordon, who went on Joe Rogan like 7 times, he just was on there 2 months ago. He spent about 2.5 minutes saying Biohack Yourself is the most legitimate
Because they want to bring the science out, not the BS that's out there.
Not the BS that's out there.
Yeah.
And so we take that level of endorsement and credibility seriously. That's why we're very careful with who we associate with and who gets platformed.
But for the audience that loves to binge watch anything, go to Amazon Prime and just look up Biohack Yourself. We have 5 episodes of life-changing content.
Okay.
So we look at our body of work. So we have Fat Lolli to Six Pack Lolli. That's if you're obese and you want to get it, like you, in the middle of the documentary, you'll start doing push-ups. That's what everybody says. Like, I can't, and so many people write to me. It's gone on to be streamed globally. It's amazing. And it's a good place to start. We have the Super Lollis, which is for the ladies if you want to really get in shape. There's a lot of people that, think just because you have a child, it's over. No. TereZa proved that she could turn around and beat women without children on stage, right? Then we did another one called Skin Deep. That one was about loose skin surgery. So this was the first time we wanted to tell a story other than our own. So we told the story of Alex Porro. He was 500 pounds. He lost 300 pounds. He competed. He was the most famous weight loss athlete. He would go on stage with his loose skin and flap it on stage and be proud that he lost the weight. And he would win trophies all over the world.
But he hated it, actually. He hated the skin.
And we became friends. We met him, actually. He was competing against me at a competition. We said, we asked him, he said, I can't afford the surgery. He said, I saw your documentary. I wish. He says, I can't afford that surgery. The plastic surgeon that did my loose skin surgery, he called me and he was like, you guys, I was in your documentary for like 10 seconds and now everybody's calling me to do their surgery. He's like, can you put me in another one of your documentaries?
But he wanted to be the lead and really show his excellence, that loose skin surgery is an art. So he wanted to show his artistry. We filmed the entire surgery, the pre-op, post-op. It's a great documentary. It actually won 13 Best Documentary Awards.
We had a big premiere in Redcon 1. It's like a famous gym. We had the premiere there. And then after that, we did a bodybuilding documentary called The Guru. That was about George Farah, one of the most famous bodybuilding coaches.
He's pro maker.
The pro maker. He's coached Mr. Olympia athletes, Arnold Classic champions, like anybody who's big, even The Rock. The actor, he coached him.
That's so powerful. You guys really earned the authority of Biohack Yourself,
Right.
And so just to finish up, what is something exciting that you guys are working on with Biohack Yourself right now?
The journalism, right? We have journalists everywhere. The journalist that we met, David Townsend.
Yeah, it's powerful.
I mean, he's at all the events. And what we're trying to do is bring awareness to the biohack community. Let them know what other people are doing outside of the community and vice versa. We want the people that David meets out there to learn about Biohack Yourself. So we're trying to make it a gateway entry point. That's why we're at Swim Week. That's why we were at our friend Patrick Bet-David's event, the Vault Conference. He doesn't have any media there. We were the only outside media allowed to be there, which we considered an honor and a privilege because it's a very insider. I mean, it's $15,000. I think the minimum is like $1,000 or something like to get in there. And David was out there interviewing people, not about how rich they were. We want to interview health trillionaires because there's a lot of rich people that are health poor.
Yes, I agree.
So we want to meet people that are able to achieve their health success and financial success. So we're at all of these very unique places. We were at Turning Point before Charlie Kirk's assassination. We were at Turning Point and we had 3 journalists there interviewing all the major speakers, not about politics, because Biohack Yourself is a bipartisan platform. But it's about what do you do when you're traveling, you're speaking, you're intense, you're debating. How do you keep your mind sharp? How do you stay healthy? And so what's exciting, besides the fact that Gary Brecka magazine is on shelves now,
Yeah, I'm
Laura
excited
Trump
about
edition,
all the next editions coming up. Laura Trump, I mean, she gave us an exclusive interview, and that's all written in her feature. And the contributor articles are incredible.
We just did a billboard for Laura's magazine
in Times Square. I mean, the next lineup of cover stars is incredible. We're not going to spoil it, but honestly...
Well, one we can say, Dr.
Gabrielle Lyon. Okay, that one
she's
we can say.
She's a big deal.
That's
I
huge,
mean, you know, she's
big
a huge deal.
But the 2026 too, like a lineup of superstars with incredible stories, exclusive interviews, contributors that are just... I mean, I get about 200 to 300 contributor article submissions on which ones are going to get published. So I get to read all these beautiful articles.
There's a line of, because now we're getting top level of academia, research scientists, like, please publish my papers, publish my papers. So we're seeing
the
like
fastest,
the latest
easiest
studies.
way to get
It's
published.
crazy.
And of course, we're excited about the dental documentary.
That
and
one.
what's going to really, you know, how we're going to bring it together. Our entire family is going through the makeover. So next is my father and then me.
We're going to
My turn is
Switzerland,
coming. Yeah, we're going to
Germany.
Switzerland and Germany and Saudi. We're covering a few events in Saudi.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Global Health Summit is inviting us, and also Zeno's conference is calling us. And they want us to be official media for them. So it's
we
exciting.
become official health press for all of these longevity events and anti-aging, because traditional media is not interested in that subject matter. We are. We're interested.
Zeno's is doing something special. It's, you know, we know the owner. He was he was a part of Shield documentary, and he said, I'm going to bring this to Saudi. And he's making the experience of the whole conference so next level. He's bringing Gary Brecka and Mark Hyman and Amy Shah. Completely, yes. A holistic that's going to change your understanding your world. So we're excited to go cover that event. We're going to LA to film a few cover stars and some biological interviews. So like we are very, very busy bringing the word out. That's our main goal, right? You have TMZ, you have E-News, you have ESPN. What are they talking about? Sports, celebrity gossip, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's changing lives here, right?
They're controlling what you watch.
Exactly. So why is everyone aware of Taylor Swift getting engaged? You know, it's not really irrelevant information anymore. But if the next red light company just came on, you know, to light, and they're just using this different type of light that is meant to give you more ATP, that's what we want to tell people. So I would say we're like the marriage of Vogue of longevity, which is our print magazine. We call it the tech-free wellness portion of our business. Then we're the ESPN of wellness and news, where we bring the active news to our listeners. And we're the production company that creates the most meaningful documentaries that change people's lives in perpetuity, and they stay streaming. So you can always go back and refer back to these documentaries, take a notepad, take notes down, you know, call the people and get seen, start your
another
journey.
thing about print, right, why we went this direction is, you know, first of all, it sits on the retail shelves next to all the big magazines, but also you can't erase what's in here. And people have been shadow banned. You know, people's websites have been shut down when they were talking about important health information. This is not going anywhere. You know, the practitioners, the data.
This is legacy.
This is legacy. This is like, you know, forever. And so every word, you know, we're the only editors-in-chief of the magazine. So we onboard, we meet everyone, we talk to everyone. You know, we're working with them personally. So it means a lot to us. It means a lot.
Well, I'm excited to see this keep growing and be part of it. And so just to finalize, can you share, where can they find you? I know you share it, but if you can share it again, please.
Okay, Biohack Yourself. Got to go on biohackyourself.com.
Everywhere,
right? Just Google Biohack Yourself, watch the documentaries, go to the social media platforms, attend an event. You know, we're always out there talking about the next events we're covering. If it's an event that we're at, it's a legitimate event in the wellness industry. So we're introducing you to people, we're connecting people. It's an amazing industry, and it's growing.
I love it. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.